sugar honey iced tea that we got to talk about today. Another shooting in Minnesota. Can you believe it? And I had an opportunity to catch Nick Sortor live, and I interviewed him while he was on the ground, and you do not want to miss that, all right? When I say on the ground, that sounds weird. When he was on duty. Can we say on duty? All right, before we get into all of that, Nick Shirley dropped another bombshell. And you can also see in that bombshell, Blackline security being the real true line between good and evil. Welcome to the Officer Tatum Show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just got off a call with Nick Shirley. I texted him earlier, Cam Higbee, and Nick Sortor. And I'm telling you guys, I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings right now, but this needs to be said. And people need to get challenged on this topic. I am so upset at the fact that our journalists who are out here exposing more truth than the mainstream media don't have support. I don't understand. Yeah, there's some people coming out, and I'm thankful for all of them. There's people that have raised money for Nick Shirley's security. There's a few people that have raised money for security for Cam and the other Nick Sortor. People have raised money, but we are nowhere near what we should be freaking doing for our journalists. The videos that y'all are sharing, I'm going to say we, add us in there. The videos that we are sharing are only brought to you by people that are putting their lives on the line to produce the content. And we got 1 million people watching it. We got 10 million people sharing it. Everybody's talking about it. But how are we not helping our people be fully funded? We got these idiots out here who are bludgeoning ICE agents, coordinated efforts. They got warming gloves. They're doing everything to destroy a constitutional republic, and they're funded. And we can't even fund these guys. We can't help them edit their videos. We can't pay for their hotel stay. We can't pay for their travel and rental cars. I do social media. These guys aren't making that much money. Why are our people not fully funded? And it bothers me because I'm watching these young guys out there in harm's way. And we're fighting tooth and nail to get their security funded. I literally started a security company and started a nonprofit so that I could find a solution to help these people who are out here risking their life with no security. You would think after Charlie Kirk had gotten killed that we would start thinking this through a little bit more and saying, it's not a game. I have to have full-time security. And the thing is that people are enjoying the content. But at what point are we going to pool our money together and start supporting our journalists? And that's just 3 guys. It's more out here trying to do what Charlie was doing, exercising his constitutional right. And these guys are doing more than Fox News. They're doing more than CNN, MSDNC. They're doing more than everybody. We wouldn't even know that these kids out there, these nut jobs out there stealing guns from these federal vehicles. We wouldn't even know it exists if it hadn't been for Nick Sortor putting his life on the line to get the footage. Like I'm telling you, man, this is my call to action for you. I'm going to put some links in the description section, and I want anybody who's inspired, who's fired up about this, to go in the description section and support somewhere. Whether you're supporting by funding these guys, whether you're funding them to do what they do, where they don't have to worry, they don't have to say, well, I can't get the content out. Nick Shirley, he literally is 2 weeks behind on things that he do because he got to edit everything by himself. He literally is putting out content that he shot 2 weeks ago because we supported him. We had his security, so we know when he was out there. He got 2 weeks. It's time now, America, that we need to start doing something for our own people. We need to start making sure our people are fully funded. Our people can travel without any obstruction. That our people are secured and protected when they're sharing the truth that we're sharing on our social media platforms. I'm calling every single conservative under the sound of my voice, and if you ain't watching, share it with somebody. It's time for us to give and put our money and our resources behind the people that are doing the things that some of us can't do. I'm calling on Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, anybody that believe in the freedoms that we have in this country, that we need to be supporting the people who are keeping the freedom alive, who are keeping truth and transparency alive. The freedom of speech, the freedom to report, to be journalists. At what point are we going to say enough is enough and we're going to start fighting back? Nick, Shirley, and all of these guys should be able to go out and report on news and be fully protected. I'm not yelling no more. Get in the comment section. We got security funded, and we'll have security funding where we can raise money to fund these guys' security and others. And then we're going to have a link there where you can fund them in their endeavors. I'll make it easy for you. We'll put 2 links, one for security for all of these guys and one for funding for all of these guys. We had 70 million people vote for Donald Trump. If 70 million people gave $1, and I'm not saying you got to do it all to one cause, but I'm just putting in perspective that it's a lightweight if we all do it. If 5 million people gave $1, that's nothing to the individual. We got at least 5 million people out here that can give $1. $5 million. That'll take care of security for all these guys. That'll take care of all their needs, hotel, cars, video, editing, everything. Change America. If we'll do something about it. I'm done ranting. Comment, the link is in the description section. Are you going to do it or you not? Are you going to put your money where your heart is at? Are you going to put your resources in freedom or not? Are you going to buy a Starbucks coffee today? You're going to go, all your luxuries that you get will be over if we don't maintain truth and stability and expose these lies in America. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that was my rant from earlier. I had to record it earlier. I couldn't wait for the live stream. I had to say it. I don't know. If you're mad at me, you're mad at me. I'm looking in the eyes, and you're going to see an interview that I do with Nick Sortor here in a minute, and I interview Cam as well. But we're going to play the interview from Nick Sortor here in a minute. But when I'm listening to these guys in the freezing cold, struggling to maintain, and the protesters that are out there committing crimes are fully funded. And we're out here every day trying to make posts, trying to create waves just to get these guys security for one day. Security ain't cheap. And we just struggling. And these people ain't struggling at all. They got these devils dumping millions of dollars into these protests that are fake and it's destroying democracy. Propaganda, lies, deception. And we sitting on the sideline, bruh. I'm telling you, we sitting as a whole, we're sitting on the sideline. We can't even raise $100,000, $200,000. We should have $100,000, $200,000 raised by the end of this live stream. But it's people that's going to watch this. It's going to get a couple 100,000 views, and people are going to look at it and they're going to do nothing. All right, let's go to Nick Shirley. Here's an example of a journalist that you would never see this stuff if it wasn't for Nick Shirley and Blackline Guardian Fund and Blackline Security. And the reason I add them in there, because as you're going to see, if we didn't have Blackline, which I call it the line between good and evil, what do you think they'd have done to Nick Shirley today? Let's watch it. Let's watch it. Roll the clip.
How are you? We're looking for the transportation company.
Safari Transportation?
Looking for Safari Transportation?
No, there's no Safari Transportation here.
No Safari Transportation?
Safari Transportation, 607 Cedar Avenue.
We're just looking for Safari Transportation.
We don't know.
So, but this is registered for Safari Transportation,
know.
607.
That's the address.
Okay, we don't know.
We're asking where Safari Transportation is.
We don't know.
Did you
Okay,
know
so the
Fuad
business is
Omar?
not here.
Don't record.
Fuad Omar?
Fuad Omar?
We don't know. This, do you see this? What is this?
Money transferring.
That's it.
Okay,
Well, this
registered.
is from the state.
This is fraud taking place. This is supposed to say, this is for
Go
Safari
find out.
Transportation.
Go find out.
Yeah, we did find out. This is fraud right here.
Registered here
This is
since
registered.
2015.
2015?
Safari Transportation, state of Minnesota.
2015. Oh, yeah.
Well, but it's registered now. This is current, just off the state of Minnesota website today.
Sir.
Please.
This is from today. I just printed this off today. Fuad Omar.
Go check it out.
We're here. This is 607. Where's Safari
607.
Transportation?
Okay, it's no Safari, period.
Okay, so it's a fraudulent business.
Did you see Safari anything here?
Exactly.
Did you see?
Exactly. It's
Did
not
you
here.
see it?
It's a fraud.
Did you see, sir?
Okay, thank you. We're going to go to the next
Okay.
address. All right, let's keep moving on. So 607, this is supposed to be Safari Transportation, no transportation company. And now we're going to 617, another transportation company. However, it is actually Cedar Riverside Liquor. Where is the transportation company?
617.
617 right
Dreamline
here.
Transportation for the state of Minnesota is registered to 617 Cedar Avenue South.
And it's a liquor store. David, they aren't even trying to hide that these
Yeah.
are transportation companies. Where are the vans at?
Should we ask?
Let's go ask.
Hey, we're looking for Dreamline Transportation.
Now we're in 617.
Now, this is one, we got a bunch of videos I got to get through. I'm not going to talk too much, but somebody, I was playing devil's advocate. Well, the companies or the people who are there, it don't matter. The state is effing you. Do you not get that? There's no way that Brandon Tatum can have a business at an address that don't exist. Or I have an address where the business don't exist. They will shut me down. I'm committing fraud. I'm putting fraudulent information out to the public. If my business is registered here, it's got to be here. IRS will be all over my ashy elbows. But yet there, nobody knows what's going on. Let's go to the next clip.
This is actually the location for Silver Mountain Inc., LLC, and Co. Let's see if any... Yes, we're wondering where Silver Mountain.
Silver Mountain?
Silver Mountain.
Oh, I don't know that. Where it is.
It says 2722 Park Avenue.
All of you, get out of here.
Where
Is
is-
Silver Mountain here?
Fuck Silver Mountain. You don't have a permission to do that.
Okay,
You
so
were
Silver
ju-
Mountain does not exist.
You were
No, the name, the name's not, the name's not fuck Silver Mountain. It's just Silver
Don't
Mountain
ask
Home
me that.
Healthcare.
When you come,
All right,
So
sir.
Silver
Well,
Mountain-
so
this
Silver,
is another way.
so
that's
Silver
the
Mountain
way
does
to
not
make a
exist.
business.
27,
You're making a
22
business.
Park
You have
Avenue.
millions of people watching you.
Silver
You're making
Mountain.
business to
Okay,
600
sir.
people.
2720.
You have millions of people watching right
Yes.
now. Where is Silver Mountain
I don't
Home
know where
Healthcare?
Silver Mountain is.
Okay, well that's what we're
But
looking for. All right, we're
he's
moving on.
sitting there-
So Silver Mountain does not exist. David, we're just simply asking for where is Silver Mountain Home
I can't
Healthcare?
find any of these companies. I mean, this is shocking. 3 companies are supposed to be in that building, and he's never heard of them. He doesn't know anything about them.
They never heard of them. They don't even know who to talk to. They never heard of the business, and it's registered to their address. And you can't register a company. Well, I can say it like this: you can, but there have to be permission to register a company, multiple companies in the same address. Like there have to be, like for instance, I own a few companies. A few of them are registered at the same address, and you know how? Because I'm responsible at this building, and I register them, and I get the mail. And so if somebody else's mail was coming here because they're registered here, I'm gonna call the people. Because ain't nobody getting no mail here. I pay for this place. Come on, next clip.
This
Now,
has nothing to
hold
do.
on, before we started. This is where you see Blackline. This is the perfect example. And I thank God that he gave me the opportunity to do this. This is where you see Blackline in full effect. See the guy with the mask on? There's a bunch of these guys there. And if I want you to watch this to listen to what Nick says, but I also want you to imagine if they were not there, what do you think would have happened to Nick, Shirley, and Dave? Just imagine. You're gonna see Blackline literally be the black line between good and evil here in a second. Roll the clip.
With race, this is fraud.
This is absolutely has to do with us being Muslim.
No, it does not.
All right, and us being from Africa. This is a constitutional argument. If you don't want us here, change the freedom of religion. Say, listen, we don't want Muslims in this country anymore.
We're not saying that.
No.
We're not saying that.
When I go
Sir,
onto
we're
your
talking
comments,
about fraud. You're talking.
When I go onto your comments,
My comments.
what I see is people that say we do not want Muslims here. Kick every single Muslim in Minnesota out of Minnesota.
That's a comment.
You are You're preparing for the Somali community to maybe be taken to concentration camps, just like the Japanese community. All right, you're sensationalizing.
No, we're not.
All right,
Sir,
something that
answer
can
the
listen.
question. Where
That's something
where
that can,
is the transportation
something
vehicle
that can
company?
jeopardize
Answer the question.
the safety and the protection of the Somali community.
This is fraud. We're talking about fraud,
If anything
sir.
happens to the Somali
We're talking
community,
about fraud.
listen, I'm not doing anything. I'm not physically touching
You're
him.
getting very close.
I'm not physically touching him. No, I'm not physically touching him.
This is fraud.
What
We're talking
you're
about
doing,
fraud.
What you're
defending fraud. You're
When I go
defending
into
fraud.
your comments,
You're defending fraud.
People who hate Muslims
Okay,
want
people
us
can-
out of here
people can say
for
what they
being
want. I'm not
Muslim,
censoring
are
anybody.
using your material. Islamophobes use your material. People who hate Islam use your material. Say to us, we don't want you here. Change the Constitution. But guess what? Let me tell you something. Guess what?
Say it. We're asking about
You
fraud.
know,
We're asking about fraud.
You hate Muslims.
I'm not saying I hate Muslims. We're talking about fraud. We're talking about fraud.
Why are you attacking us?
This
Are we
is
the
fraud.
only community
We're
that suffers because of fraud?
We're talking about
Are
fraud.
we the only community that does fraud? Are we the only community that does this?
This is about
All
fraud.
right, but there's what, 300 Somali
This is
providers in
fraud.
all of Minnesota?
There's actually
I'm not-
800.
don't touch me.
Keep talking.
Is there,
Don't go
So,
do you speak English?
transportation companies.
Your security doesn't even speak English. Listen,
Yeah,
let me tell you
so
something.
see, this isn't a
They
race
keep-
issue,
Hold on,
sir.
hold on,
Listen,
hold on.
let me
This
tell
is
you
about
something.
There's a reason why that guy, his English ain't the first language. I just want you to know. Because we ain't playing, all right? Some of the baddest people in America are Blackline. And that guy ain't playing with you. The best trained, we got him. So you can say he'll speak English, but he know how to get on your. All right, hey, look how good. I just want to brag. Look at the professionalism from Blackline. They giving him a space. They not being overt. They're not being rude. But you're not finna play because they're there to protect Nick Shirley. You can talk all you want, but don't play around. Roll the clip.
fraud.
We have, what, 1,000 providers?
Yeah, you guys have a...
Even it's 2,000 providers.
Okay,
You
sir.
want to sacrifice the safety of
Sir.
80,000 people
We're not
because of fucking 2,000 providers? Are you fucking mad? Are you stupid?
I'm not stupid. You're stupid.
You're
Where's the transportation
sensationalizing.
company?
What about if a mass
Listen.
shooting happens in Minnesota? It will be because of you. It will be because of you. If any Somali gets hurt in Minnesota, it's because of Nick fucking Shirley. If any Somali,
this is about
if
fraud.
one single Somali gets hurt,
This is about fraud,
it's because
sir.
of you. Sensationalizes.
Hold on,
you
here
son
we
of
go.
a bitch.
Here we go. If you think it's about Somalians, you know you wrong. That dog getting hit. You know how they say you throw a rock, the loudest one, the one that got hit. Nick Shirley haven't, I don't think, mentioned race or religion one time. He said, "Is this place right here?" They go, "You don't know the place. We don't. You don't know of a business that's registered in your place." Ain't nobody said nothing about Somalians. They getting hit. They know he coming for them. Roll the clip.
Sensationalizes.
Wow, you're
Get
very
the fuck
nice.
out of our neighborhood.
Very nice.
Get the fuck out of our
Sir,
neighborhood.
can you tell me where the transportation
Get the fuck
company
out
is?
of our neighborhood. We don't want you here. Get the fuck out of here.
Calm down, sir.
Get the fuck out of here.
Sir, this is
You
about
want to
fraud.
sensationalize? You wanted clicks?
You're
You got clicks.
sensationalizing yourself,
You
sir.
wanted clicks?
You're
You
sensationalizing
got
yourself.
clicks. You wanted clicks? You wanted the YouTube?
Tell me where the
You
transportation
wanted
vehicle
YouTube
is.
clicks? You got YouTube clicks. Now get the fuck out of our community.
Tell me where the
Get the
transportation
fuck out of our
vehicle is.
community.
Tell me where the...
You
This
stupid,
is about fraud.
racist motherfucker.
This is-
Say I don't want
This
Muslims
is about
here.
fraud.
Say I don't want Muslims here. Say it.
I'm
I
not-
want to change the Constitution.
No, I don't
and
want to change the
freedom of
Constitution.
religion, and I don't want Muslim Somalis in Minnesota. Kick them out. I was born in this country. You have to take the passport away from me. That is what you are
Sir,
arguing for.
Think about
we're not
this.
talking.
Change the Constitution.
This is about
Hold on.
fraud.
This dummy just said, I was born in this country. So therefore, you're not African. Therefore, you're not Somalian. Am I right? You're not Somalian. You're an American. So what are you saying that it has anything to do with Somalians? That's because these people don't love America. They don't want to be here. They consider themselves to be Somalians and they consider themselves to be Africans when they claim they ain't never been there. If you were born here, you dang sure ain't went to Somalia because you wouldn't make it back. You ain't never gonna go back to Somalia. But you're a Somalian. Don't give me that. Like people come to me, I ain't African. I ain't never been to Africa. I love America. I'm American. I don't want nothing to do with Africa. Africa ain't done nothing for me. America has. My freedoms, my health, for generations of people with the same blood that I got have benefited from America, not Nigeria or wherever else I'm from. Because I got blood from everywhere. Nigeria is the top one. So go sit your sorry self down talking about our community. What community? Y'all all Americans, right? Oh, no, you think you Somalians. Okay, more clips. We got more clips. Roll it.
What kind of fraud did you see take
Hold
place?
on. I just want to introduce the clip. This is him interviewing a TSA whistleblower. And so he's not interviewing a Somalian. He's interviewing a whistleblower. Roll the clip.
Here in Minnesota.
So I worked for the airport police for 31 years. 24 of those years I worked in narcotics at MSP Airport. And my recollection was from about 2015-16 to 2021 when I retired. I would get emails from our dispatch saying like two male Somali descent individuals. They would give us their names. They claimed the cash, that they had a large amount of cash at the checkpoints. We'd get all this information in an email, and I believe they would send it right away. So TSA would contact our dispatch telling us this, then our dispatch would relay the info via email to us.
And how much was the money?
The money, the smallest amount in a suitcase that I heard was like $750,000. But generally, it was anywhere from $1 million to $6 million in a suitcase. And there usually was, as far as I can remember, there was always two individuals traveling. So you would have maybe one guy with 2.2 million and another guy with 3 million. And
at airports, you're able to take $10,000 without declaring it. How are these guys able to take millions of dollars?
because as far as I know, as long as they declared it, they were fine. So then TSA would contact HSI and Customs, and I'm sure they got the information. We got the information. My administration knew about it, and I trust that they sent that on to higher state officials on this, but nothing was ever done the whole time I was there. I talked to one individual. We were going after narcotic cash leaving the airport. This was always fraud. We had no nexus to that this cash was related to narcotics. So our hands were kind of tied. We couldn't do a whole lot.
How do you suspect these Somalians had millions of dollars to move in an airport?
We would rack our heads all the time, like, where are they getting this? Where in the world are they getting this money? And I had heard about these daycares and whatnot, but I mean, I thought at the time, okay, maybe they had 10 daycares, but apparently they have a lot more than that. We were all just racking our heads trying to figure this out.
So you openly saw just millions of dollars get moved through these airports.
I saw I saw one time, I saw an open suitcase with the cash because we were looking into seeing if it was narcotics related, which it was not.
How much money do you think moved through the airport in your time?
Millions, literally millions and millions. I mean, we're talking for a good 5-6 years, you're talking, I don't know, 5 to 6 million a week. It would happen twice a week. You would get twice a week where there would be somebody flying.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. And first of all, I want to say thank you to everybody watching. I appreciate y'all watching the show. I see your comments, and I love them. A lot of y'all say you love the show, you love B. Tatum, you love the set. Shout out to my team because they got to get a lot of credit for doing this too. It's not just me, all right? So I love y'all for that. Thank y'all for the super chats as well. We'll eventually try to get the super chats on the screen so I can read them, but appreciate y'all with the super chats as well. We're working on that part. But do you know how crazy this is, y'all? I did the math one time while I was a cop, and I said, okay, if I made X amount of dollars a year, 20-year career, I would have made up $1 million in a 20-year career. That's before taxes. $1 million. You telling me Somalians are somehow getting tens of millions of dollars, transporting millions of them through the airport with no fear in the world? In Somalia, they're bringing their sugar honey iced tea from that country to America because in Somalia, majority of the people are poor and destitute. The mortality rate, I mean, you name it, is that they're incest, so their kids are coming out retarded. Many of them, if they're not there, they almost there. They're not functional people. Not all of them, but a lot of them, because they having kids with first cousins. And it's a few people in that country that's richer than rich, billionaires. They come over here, and in Minnesota, 60+% of the Somalians or more are on welfare. And we see some of them got millions of dollars. Same soup warmed over. Let's go to Nick on Jesse Waters on Fox News. Let's play that clip. That's pretty interesting as well. And you can see the Blackline in the background. I got to give them a shout out. Them brothers out there, and it's cold as a mofo out there. And they out there hunching it. I don't know how Nick Shirley, I don't know where Nick Shirley is from. He may be from Alaska or the North Pole, but he just got a little sweater on. Everybody else got bundles. I don't know what, he may not be human. I don't know, maybe from another planet. Roll the clip.
Like, even if they're not involved in the fraud, are they still defending the Somali tribe?
Well, you heard the one man say, he said, are we the only people that commit fraud? And so it feels like it's all sort of almost like a big community that's trying to hide from the fraud, when in reality, 89% of the fraud that's happening inside Minnesota is from Somalians, and that's just a fact of the matter.
So you guys were working off of a list here. Did you go to any addresses that had cars that were taking kids to daycares?
No, and I'm being 100% honest, there was not a single location we went to where there was cars that were moving people around Minnesota.
And you were calling the phone numbers too. Did anybody pick up?
Yeah, well, I mean, like Quality Learning Center, for instance, that phone number went to nowhere. If you make a phone call to any of these locations, I mean, just going to the address is enough. There wasn't anyone even there. There wasn't even signs on a lot of these places. They were apartment buildings. So, I mean, phone call wouldn't have done much.
All right, so you're out on the street, and is it clear that the politicians were clueless? I mean, how could they have not known about this?
Well, they obviously knew because they've enabled it to happen for so long. I mean, for instance, Quality Learning Center, it had over 90 violations, yet they kept giving that daycare millions of dollars. And these transportation companies, I mean, if anyone in Minnesota is watching this right now, they know what I'm talking about, because you drive around Minneapolis and you'll see nobody inside of these transportation vehicles.
I mean, without giving away your logistics, what's next?
Well, I think there's a lot more fraud to be exposed across the country, and there might even be more fraud exposed inside Minnesota. There's a lot of fraud, and the fraud is very, very, very deep in Minnesota.
and that's probably why they picked Tim Walsh. Somebody mentioned this. Is what my original thought. I like to take credit for it, but I can't because it wasn't my original thought. Somebody made a point that the reason why Kamala Harris picked Tim Walsh, which he was a complete idiot, was because he raised the most money, I think, out of any politician in the first day that he was announced. And it's probably because them Somalians were given millions and millions of dollars to support because they knew if he was on a ticket and they won the presidency, he was going to come back and make sure they all were good and paid for and they could do fraud until their hearts are content. I almost, that's one of the most intelligent things I heard, and I believed it to be true. And I'll say it one more time, put it on the screen. Thank you to the people who donated to support Nick Shirley Security. I want to thank you all 4,000 of you who donated to support. Many of you donated a $1. And to me, if you got that to give and you gave $1, that's just as important as a person giving 10,000 and they got 100,000 to give. If all you got is just $1, you have contributed to the success and the ability for Nick Shirley to do what he's doing. And I appreciate you, and so does Nick. Now let's go to Ilan Omar. And the link is in the description section if y'all want to jump in and donate and support us. All right. Roll the clip.
Congresswoman Omar, yesterday you told me to please read when I asked you about the $9 billion
Look at
fraud
that
that you
little-
denied
little
is happening,
fool.
but I
Look
have
how
it right
little
here. I
stupid she
read.
is.
Look, Chairman Comer opens hearing on massive fraud scandal, $9 billion.
That's what Comer believes because he's as smart as you are.
It's not just Comer. It's Scott Besson. It's federal prosecutors. It's House Oversight.
Absolutely
And
no
it's Minnesota
goddamn
State
way.
reps.
You could have that, ma'am. I think you need to get examined because your brain has been fried in some way.
Time out. This finna be the craziest comeback ever. Y'all just wait. The lady in the blonde, who are you? I want to bring her on the show. Listen to this comeback. You know, listen to the Miss Allah Akbar try to say what she got to say, but listen to this comeback. I almost need like a Allah Akbar sound, and then we need like an eagle for Patriots. The Patriots are coming for these Allah Akbar heads. Listen to what she says. It's the funniest thing ever. Her name is Allison Steinberg. Allison, you the boss right here. Roll the clip.
And it's not okay. I really hope you get some help. You and the Republicans here. Take care, okay, ma'am?
I'm sorry, I couldn't go to the learning centers that you're running over in Minnesota, but I think you should perhaps read what's
Maybe
actually.
one of those learning centers.
I need one of those learning centers.
Yes, see it?
Yes, you want to make some money, you need a learning center. Bro, they doing so much fraud out of there. Like, let me say this. We got one more clip. Hakeem Jeffries saw herself, and he also little and stupid. But let me say this, man. Like I don't know where y'all grew up at, but I grew up in a neighborhood, in part. You know, we lived in different places, but when I was living in Stop 6 in Eastwood area, where Dunbar at, my high school I went to, people were doing fraud, and it was a thing, right? You selling dope, you boosting, and if y'all don't know what boosting is, they stealing stuff from the dealers and all that, and they go sell it in the street. $20 for a polo shirt, a Ralph Lauren, I think maybe $50 for some Jordans. Like, I mean, they had a little price sheet and everything. You know that when they come through the community, you get 5, 6 shirts. They pull out their trunk. They got all kind of stuff in that trunk. People bring credit cards by the house. They got a list. You buy credit card numbers, doing fraud. And I swear it's rampant. And you saw it proliferated with the PPP loans. All kind of dudes going to prison in the hood with PPP loans. But these tax places. I remember dudes when I was growing up, they were filing taxes. They lying on their taxes, using people's kids on taxes, stealing people's tax. They get you a 400,000% return. I remember growing up being like, they go, hey man, I get you 20,000 back on your return. You're like, bro, I didn't even make 20,000 this year. How you gonna give me 20,000 back when y'all doing fraud? And they doing fraud all over the hood. So I know these Somalians doing fraud. Same soup warmed over, bruh. Come on, bring the lady back on the screen. She interviewed or had a commentary to this little weirdo. I think he like 5'4". Somebody look it up for me. How tall is Hakeem Jeffries? I think he like 5'3" or something. It's the little man syndrome that make these people so silly, bro. And nothing against my 5'4" brothers, man. As long as you got a good heart, I'm good. Man, Hakeem Jeffries ain't no 6'1". Ask ChatGPT. Hakeem Jeffries ain't no 6'1". All right, roll the clip.
Representative Ilhan Omar has repeatedly dismissed the $9 billion Minnesota fraud figure, but numerous people, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Minnesota representatives in the state, Chairman Comer, amongst others, have confirmed this number is indeed correct and see it as one of the largest frauds in U.S. history. Do you acknowledge that this $9 billion figure is accurate? And also, what do you make of the Minnesota House introducing resolutions to impeach Governor Tim Walz?
Well, I'm unfamiliar with resolutions having been introduced relative to the impeachment of Tim Walz. I assume that's some extreme MAGA Republican who has done it, so I don't take that effort seriously. And if you're citing James Comer as a source for me, you better start someplace else, because he's not an individual that has any credibility, as far as I'm concerned, relative to the allegations that he's made. If James Comer wants to investigate waste, fraud, and abuse, start with the Trump administration. Go look into your organized crime boss who's running pay-to-play schemes all across the country, shaking down corporations and individuals, launching retribution efforts against American citizens who disagree with him. That's the behavior of an organized crime boss.
I can't listen to no more. Cut his feed. I'm going to lose my salvation if I keep listening to these people. How do you not get your socks sewed off for saying he's an organized crime boss that's doing pay-to-play with no evidence? He went to court innocent, and you are still out here saying that stuff. We're going to get to the Nick Sortor interview that I did earlier today while he was live in the street. He was live there, and I interviewed it because I don't want to give up his position and where he's at. We got to make sure these guys are safe. So I don't want to interview these guys live because I don't want nobody to know where they're at when they're at. You're going to see something that happened earlier today. But I'll play the Nick Sortor interview here in a second. I think about a couple minutes. I want to introduce it, and then we're going to play the interview for you guys to watch. And then before we get there, my guys are telling me we need to get to that shooting last night. So we're going to get to Nick Sortor's interview, but we got to talk about this shooting. I almost forgot. 2 people were shot, I believe, or there was a shooting. I don't know if it was 2 people, but there was a shooting last night in Minnesota because people are stupid and they keep playing and they going to keep figuring it out the hard way. Roll the clip.
DHS says at 6:50 p.m. Central Time tonight, quote, federal law enforcement officers were conducting.
Hakeem Jeffries. They out here, hold on, I need real numbers from Hakeem Jeffries. ChatGPT and them out here doing football height and weight. I remember when I played football, they said I was 6'3", 200 pounds. I was 6'1", 180. They boosted me. They boosting Congress members. Ain't no way he 5'11". I didn't see him standing next to women and he's shorter than they are. He got to be like 5'6". All right, I'll come back to that in a minute. Roll the clip.
A targeted traffic stop in Minneapolis of an illegal alien from Venezuela who was released into the country by Joe Biden in 2022. In an attempt to evade arrest, the subject fled the scene in his vehicle and crashed into a parked car. The subject then fled on foot. The law enforcement officer caught up to the subject on foot and attempted to apprehend him when the subject began to resist and violently assault the officer. While the subject and law enforcement were in a struggle on the ground, 2 subjects came out of a nearby apartment and also attacked the law enforcement officer with a snow shovel and broom handle. As the officer was being ambushed and attacked by the 2 individuals, the original subject got loose and began striking the officer with a shovel or broomstick. Fearing for his life and safety as he was being ambushed by 3 individuals, the officer fired defensive shots to defend his life. The initial subject was hit in the leg. All 3 subjects ran back into the apartment and barricaded themselves inside. The attacked officer and subject are both in the hospital. Both attackers are in custody. This is another attack. This attack on another brave member of law enforcement took place while Minnesota's top leaders, Governor Walz and Mayor Frey, are actively encouraging an organized resistance to ICE and federal law enforcement officers. Their hateful rhetoric and resistance against men and women who are simply trying to do their jobs must end. So a very lengthy statement there, Sean, but it sounds a whole lot more complicated than what we initially had, that this was one person involved with a shovel. It sounds like ICE was going after a Venezuelan illegal alien who had been caught and released at the border by the Biden administration in 2022. That person crashed into a parked car, got out and fled. ICE was chasing him down, and then while they were wrestling on the ground, two people came out of a nearby apartment and then started attacking the ICE officer with shovels. And during that ambush attack, that is when the officer pulled out his weapon, fired, and hit one of the suspects, who, again, is stable. So it sounds like the suspects are in custody, and this is being described to Fox News from DHS as yet another attack on ICE officers in Minneapolis, Sean.
I want to call this the Traeger effect, okay? Y'all keep playing, you can get smoked. Like a brisket on a Traeger. And I got one in my backyard with them pellets in it. Y'all keep playing with ice, you gonna get triggered. I think it's called a Traeger. You're gonna get smoked. And look, man, I'm not trying to be, I really want to be a good Christian. Y'all pray for me. But I don't mind watching y'all get smoked being stupid. That's what you get. I'd rather see you get smoked than an ICE agent get hurt because you stupid. I don't know where we go from here. You got to stop playing. These people got families. These men and women putting it on the line, getting a Venezuelan gang member, and you chasing them down with a shovel. Good for you. Show me the body camera. If I'm having a bad day, I want to see one of y'all take a L playing around. I'll never forget that lady going, you want to play big guy? You need to get a lunch. And they do. And you laughing now? Are you laughing now? Now your wife, she down there with the devil. Probably. I don't know. I'm not God. But I don't think she made heaven with the stuff she doing. All right, let's get on to the next subject. And Hakeem Jeffries is not 5'11", 183. They out here putting NFL combine stats. I'm gonna have to look it up. Let's get to the next topic. We got Tim Walz giving his full statement. I'm not going to play the whole thing because I don't want to lose more brain cells covering this stuff. But Tim Walz, and then go to the next clip, and then Lukey, and then the next one, Dookie. So Tim Walz, Lukey, and Dookie are going to give a statement. And I'm going to tell you this, man. These men, all right, stop, Brandon. Let it go. Tim Walz, go ahead. Take it away.
Let's be very, very clear. This long ago stopped being a matter of immigration enforcement. Instead, it's a campaign of organized brutality against the people of Minnesota by our own federal government. Last week, that campaign claimed the life of Renee Nicole Good.
Oh, my God.
We've all watched the video. We've all seen what happened. And yet, instead of conducting an impartial investigation so we can hold accountable the officer responsible for Renee's death, the Trump administration is devoting the full power of the federal government to finding an excuse to attack the victim and her family.
Time out.
Just yesterday.
Time out. We watched the video, Tim Walz. What the funnel cake are you talking about? We saw her hit that guy and she took an L. These people should go to prison for what they're doing. There is no way that you could be a leader, a governor, and you're on television with influence and you're lying. You're inciting violence by intentionally lying and saying this is not immigration enforcement. The only reason anybody will make contact with ICE that's not an immigrant is if you are assaulting them. And you see the assault on television. You saw them pull the gun out of those vehicles. They're burning stuff in the middle of the street. They're assaulting ICE agents. They're knocking out windows. They're setting fires. They're having to get smoked every other day because they're bludgeoning ICE agents for just doing their job. And you get on TV and you say this. You got to go to jail. Trump. Give me the big screen. Trump. What are y'all doing? These people got to go to jail. What are we doing? When you call inciting violence, here you go right here. Inciting or instigating an insurrection, here you go right here. They put you in, Donald Trump, they tried to put you under the jail when you told them that they should not protest violently, be peaceful, and they tried to put you in jail. And Tim Walz is telling people to be violent. Roll the clip.
Yesterday, 6 federal prosecutors, including the longtime career prosecutor leading the charge to investigate and eliminate fraud in our state's programs, quit their jobs rather than go along with this assault on the United States Constitution. But as bad as it's been,
Time out. I swear I'm gonna be long. I can't help it. I'm bubbling. This fool said prosecutors resigned because they can't justify what's happening to that the ICE agency's presence in their city. But they didn't resign with all that fraud. Billions of dollars of fraud, and y'all ain't doing nothing. You in your job, but you mad enough to resign over ICE doing their job. Come on, play it.
For it to get worse. This week, he went online to promise that, quote, the day of retribution and reckoning is coming. That's a direct threat against the people of this state who dared to vote against him 3 times and who continue to stand up for freedom with courage and empathy and profound grace. All across Minnesota, people are stepping up to help their neighbors who are being unjustly and unlawfully
Time out. He said all across the city, Trump, Pam Bundy, he said all across the city and encouraging this, that people are helping their brothers and sisters by intervening. Somebody just assaulted and attacked ICE agents with a shovel and got shot. And that's what he said after that incident of neighbors helping is attacking them with shovels. Roll the clip.
Targeted. They're distributing care packages and walking kids to school and raising their voices in peaceful protest, even though doing so has made many of our fellow Minnesotans targets for violent retribution. Folks, I know it's scary, and I know it's absurd that we all have to be defending law and order, justice, and humanity while also caring for our families and trying to do our jobs. So tonight, let me say once again to Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, end this occupation. You've done enough. Let me say 4 critical things to the people of Minnesota. 4 things I want you to hear as you watch the news and look out for your neighbors. First, Donald Trump wants this chaos. He wants confusion. And yes, he wants more violence on our streets. We cannot give him what he wants. We must protest loudly, urgently, but also peacefully. Indeed, as hard as we will fight in the courts and at the ballot box, we cannot and will not let violence prevail. You're angry, I'm angry. Angry is not a strong enough word, but we must remain peaceful. Second, you are not powerless, you are not helpless, and you are certainly not alone. All across Minnesota, people are learning about opportunities, not just to resist, but to help people who are in danger.
Resist.
Thousands upon thousands of our fellow Minnesotans are going to be relying on mutual aid in the days and weeks to come, and they need our support. Tonight, I want to share another way you can help. Witness. Help us establish a record of exactly what's happening in our communities. You have an absolute right to peacefully film ICE agents as they conduct these activities. So carry your phone with you at all times.
Stalking ICE agents is what you're insinuating. Trump, I swear to God, if these people don't go to jail for inciting an insurrection, I will never vote for a Republican again. These people need to go to prison. They hemmed up Trump for nothing. He got impeached. They tried to put him in jail. Where are the Republicans at? Where are y'all at? Where are the Republican prosecutors that should be prosecuting these people like they were doing to Trump? Trump never did nothing wrong, and they try to take this man money and put him in prison. These people are clearly violating the law in front of the world. You better put him in jail. You sorry Republicans. I swear, if these people don't go to prison or get indicted, I will never support y'all again. I put that on everything. Y'all sucking right now. I'm just being honest. Ain't nobody gone to jail yet. And let me say this. I don't want y'all to be mad at me. Trump, I love you, but I want to see people go to jail. Why are they not going to jail? We had thousands of people on January 6th do years in prison for an insurrection. Why are none of these people going to jail? Why? They planning and plotting. They got online internet gangs telling them how to assault ICE agents. They're coordinating an effort to team up on ICE agents and bludgeon them and assault them when they're doing traffic stops. Y'all can't geo-track these people like y'all did at the Capitol? They can tell you people went to jail that wasn't at the Capitol because they somehow planned to interfere with federal law. They went to jail. Why? Comey ain't in jail. Hillary ain't in jail. Like I don't know how this works. Maybe I need to come down there and see. But how our people go to jail, they setting up people on our side. And none of them go to jail. Ilhan Omar allegedly married her cousin or something to get him citizenship. Nobody go to jail? Nobody's indicted? You got cities where mayors are defying federal law that's on the books and none of them get indicted. There's no rumors of indictment. At what point are we just chopped liver? Maybe we'll see some stuff, but how is Tim Walz getting away with it when Donald Trump's speech had zero violence in it, zero encouragement to be violent, and they still talking about he ordered an insurrection, and people are literally getting killed over what Tim Walz is saying? All right, let's go on to the Lukey and Dookie real quick because I need to be done with the show so I can smoke a cigar and chill. You know how people Netflix and chill? I want to smoke a cigar and chill. Because my blood pressure, like my grandma say, my blood pressure high. Y'all running my blood pressure high. We like this is what we'll do. Because we're running low on time. We will make the Nick Sortor interview a clip that y'all can watch on the channel later. We'll link the clip in the description section for you guys to watch later. I don't want this show to be more than an hour, and it's already running. So I got the Nick Sortor interview and Cam Higbee. I interviewed both of them. I'll give you both of those interviews right after the live stream. We're going to cut them and put them out later, and so you guys can have them. So you will see it. You're not going to not see it. You just have to wait till a little bit later today. Nick will do the best he can at cutting the clips and putting it together, and we'll make the whole live stream that way, okay? I mean, make the video separate. You'll watch the interviews. We'll have it available for you, all right? Let's get Lukey and Dookie on here, then I'm going to get off here before my blood pressure boil over. Look at this guy. He looked like he on Backpage somewhere with another hairy back man laying up with him at night. That's what kind of man this guy looked like. He looked like you're going to catch him soliciting boys online. That's the energy I see in this guy right here. He is a weirdo. I ain't never in my life saw a man like him act like this. The guy in the back is surely gay, but this guy is a closet. He in the closet about his stuff. The guy in the back, ain't nobody question at this point, is this guy a wuss or not? But let's let him talk.
My name is Brian O'Hara, B-R-I-A-N, O''H-A-R-A.
He definitely
I am the
on
Minneapolis
sites.
Police Chief. At 6:51 p.m., Minneapolis Police received a 911 call reporting a shooting on the 600 block of 24 Avenue North. Preliminary information indicates that there was a struggle with a federal agent in front of the resident. During the struggle, the federal agent discharged his weapon, striking one adult male. The adult male then retreated inside of the residence, where he remained inside and refused to come out. Eventually, federal agents made entry into the residence, and the individual was brought to an ambulance where he has been transported to the hospital.
There was a struggle. Are you sure? Because you don't know what you talking about the last time when good making bad decisions got killed. You said all kind of stuff that wasn't true. You just said there was a struggle. Where in the case report does it say a struggle ensued? You're not gonna talk about somebody with a what they call a shovel. You're not gonna bring up the shovel. You're not gonna bring up the fact that ICE was trying to apprehend somebody and got attacked by somebody else. That's why he discharged his weapon. You're not gonna mention that? Is that what we doing right now? How you sleep at night knowing you lying to the people? Finish the clip.
Minneapolis police have secured the crime scene around the location, and the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, as well as the FBI, are on the scene processing the evidence.
What evidence? Hold on. What evidence? Chief? I know you hear me talking to you. What evidence? What are they processing? Because according to you, there was just a struggle and a shooting occurred. What evidence are they processing? The shovel? Is the shovel a part of the evidence that's being processed right now? Which is a weapon from the suspect? Is that evidence that's being Let him finish.
There's a crowd gathered in the area, and we have called for mutual aid from the Minnesota State Patrol and Hennepin County Sheriff. The crowd is engaged.
There's a crowd in the area. You're talking about the video that I'm gonna show them later? We might play that video. There's a crowd in the area. Hold on, pull up the crowd. This is the clip from Nick Sortor. The crowd that he's talking about. Just roll it. This crowd?
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
That's a rifle.
Oh, my God.
Listen.
There's some bullets.
Get the bullets. Get the bullets. All right, go back to Lukey. That crowd is the one you talking about? Or you're not gonna tell us that crowd? Okay. It's just a crowd. Okay, roll the clip.
Mutual aid from the Minnesota State Patrol and Hennepin County Sheriff. The crowd is engaging in unlawful acts.
Oh, he said it. Good.
Fireworks at police officers.
Good.
And at multiple times, gas has been deployed. Police are attempting to disperse this unlawful assembly at this time. I urge anyone that is at the scene to leave immediately. This is already a very tense situation, and we do not need this to escalate any further. I have faith that the investigators are involved will follow every lead in this case and ensure it is completed to its logical conclusion.
Good. If the JJ is working now. It's the JJ working. All right, get Dookie on there, and then we're gonna be done. Let Dookie speak.
There's still a lot that we don't know at this time, but what I can tell you for certain is that this is not sustainable. This is an impossible situation that our city is presently being put in. And at the same time, we are trying to find a way forward to keep people safe, to protect our neighbors, to maintain order. And we're in a position right now where we have residents that are asking the very limited number of police officers that we have to fight ICE agents on the street, to stand by their neighbors.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Did I hear that right? Go back. Go back just a couple seconds. Maybe I heard that wrong. Play the clip and look at the chief's face. Play it.
To fight ICE agents.
No, go back. Keep going. Right there.
City is presently being put in. And at the same time, we are trying to find a way forward to keep people safe, to protect our neighbors, to maintain order. And we're in a position right now where we have residents that are asking the very limited number of police officers that we have to fight ICE agents on the street, to stand by their neighbors. We cannot be at a place right now.
The chief said, what? We have local police to fight ICE agents. And the chief said, what in the federal lawsuit indictment are you talking about? Play it one more time for the people in the back smoking crack. Bro, the clip.
Officers that we have to fight ICE agents on the street, to stand by their neighbors. We cannot be at a place right now in America where we have two governmental entities that are literally fighting one another. Why are we put in this position?
Because you're a dummy.
We're put in this position because we have approximately 600 police officers in Minneapolis, far fewer that are able to work at any given time. And there are approximately 3,000 ICE agents in the area. 3,000. The 600 police officers that we have are charged on any given day with investigating crime, stopping homicides from taking place, preventing carjackings. That's the work of a police officer in a city. Meanwhile, we have ICE agents throughout our city and throughout our state who, along with Border Control, are creating chaos. This is not the path that we should be on right now in America. Thankfully, there's another path. And I want to talk to everybody who's out there.
What's the path?
Even people who aren't living in Minneapolis right now. Maybe you just put your kids to bed. Maybe you're cleaning up the dishes. I'm sure you love your family. There's no doubt in my mind that you love your town. Imagine if that city or that town was suddenly invaded by thousands of federal agents that do not share the values that you
mean
hold
immigrants?
dear.
Illegals?
Imagine if your daily routines were disrupted. The local cafe that you eat at was shut down because they're scared that their own family might get torn apart. Imagine if schools shut down and suddenly parents got to figure out what to do for daycare. This is not creating safety. It's certainly not creating safety when a huge percentage of the shootings that have taken place so far this year in Minneapolis.
That chief is watching his career go down the hill. That fool said, he pretty much said, just imagine if your city was overrun by Somalians. Illegal aliens. ICE agents. That's what he said. Your kids go to daycare. Bro, do you not read the room? What daycare? The fraudulent ones? Or the ones that have to pay all that money and actually live up to the qualifications that they said they would? You talking about them or the ones that they ain't got no kids in it or they violating 100,000 times and ain't paying no tax or nothing? Okay. All right, hey, I'm gonna do a poll real quick. How many people are on live right now? Right on the thing. I'm going to do a poll real quick. Do y'all want me to play the Nick Sortor interview now, or do you want me to get off? Y'all put yes if you want me to play the Nick Sortor interview that I interviewed him early, because I think it's actually pretty interesting. Or do you want to wait to see Nick Sortor and Cam Higbee later today? Somebody let me know. Let me see what the poll is. Let's do a poll. And I hope that we actually doing a poll. Nick got that going? We're going to do a poll to see. We'll see what y'all want, because I love y'all, and I appreciate all of y'all watching. Let's see. We can give y'all a couple more seconds. And while you're waiting, I want you guys to go into the description section and go and support the journalists. We may have that. I don't know if we have that link yet, but we will have that link. We do. The team is saying we do have that link. So I want you to go and support the journalists, and 100% of whatever y'all give going straight to them. 100%. And support their security. All you got to do is go to Blackline Guardian Fund, and there's options there. If you want to support individuals or you want to support the general fund, it's all there. And we'll make sure that they get the funds. 100% of their security funds that are raised are going towards their security. I don't know, like y'all, see, God made me a different way, man. It ain't about money to me. God gonna give me money. I'm gonna make money. It's about the cause. And if I could say anything to anybody watching this, always be mission-based. Always be cause-based. Don't you ever do something for the money. Because one, you do it for the money, you're going to be disappointed a lot of the time. Or two, if you do it for the money, you're going to compromise your morals. God will give you the money. You need to do things for the right reason. So that's why if you support, 100% of that go to them. And I want these young people to do well. All right. Majority said yes. What's the percentage? Is it like overwhelming majority, or is it a borderline? Overwhelming. They're telling me overwhelming. They're literally screaming at me that it's overwhelming. I think Joe almost fell out of his chair. He said it was so overwhelming. So it is a yes. We're going to play the interview if you guys want to stay tuned. It's about 15 minutes. It's about 21 minutes. It is probably, and you're going to hear some stuff regurgitated because this is something I talked about earlier. But this is probably one of the best interviews that I've done with a journalist that's on the streets doing his thing, being genuine and straightforward about the affairs of America and Minnesota. So without further ado, go ahead and roll it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got Nick Sortor ready to go, man. He's out in Minnesota right now. He's literally standing right outside in his craziness. Nick, can you tell us, man, what the F is going on in Minnesota?
Brandon, I don't know how else to put it. This is an insurrection. This is an insurrection that's going on out here, and it's getting worse by the day. They took full advantage of the fact that Minnesota or Minneapolis police don't respond to calls for help from federal agents. And so when the federal agents had to, they were being overrun last night by rioters in the streets, and those rioters decided to, they started breaking into cars. They started trying to set cars on fire. They started looting federal vehicles. And I even have a video of them stealing a select fire rifle out of an FBI vehicle, and they were able to get away. That's just for anybody that doesn't know, that's a rifle that can be switched to fire automatic. Yeah. And now that's on the streets in Minneapolis in the hands of some clearly very deranged people. And man, we're beyond time to send Marines out here, invoke the Insurrection Act. Innocent people are going to be killed. I mean, it's a matter of time, man.
No, 1,000%. I saw the same thing. I'm like, there's a difference between protesting. And I think in this country, we need to be very clear. You can protest. You can make your voice be heard. But when you start breaking into vehicles, which is vandalism, when you start blocking the roads, which is obstruction of traffic, when you start going and killing or trying to assault and stalking ICE agents, you are now going into the realm of breaking federal law. And when you're taking firearms out of police vehicles or the federal vehicles, I mean, you're now getting to another level. Stealing or theft of a firearm is a felony crime. Like, how are the police? Now you're out there. What is the police response? Are they not responding at all? You know, if a citizen were to call right now and say, "Hey, I need help. I'm getting bludgeoned by a protester," are they not responding at all?
Yeah, well, I have never once been able to get the police to respond to any of my distress calls, no matter how urgent they are, which is worse than in places like Portland. You know, I thought Portland was bad for police response. This place, it's non-existent. They pretty much tell me on the phone to go screw myself. And you probably saw the video from the other day where I had my truck parked outside of the federal facility, and they surrounded it. They tried to block me in the front. I was on the phone with 911, begging and pleading for them to come and help me because they were already damaging the vehicle. They were trying to get me out of the car. I had the doors locked, obviously, and I told them on that 911 call, I said, if they try to disable my vehicle or they break a window, I have no choice but to drive, because then I'm losing my security totally. And they still didn't respond. They still didn't show up. I had to flee to the neighboring county in order to get help out here. It's like the police are non-existent.
Do you think, if you had been able to talk to some citizens in the area that are not combatant, are these people that live in Minnesota, they live in Minneapolis, or are these people that are getting bussed in? Like, do you have a sense that this is some paid demonstration, or you think this is organic, you know, kind of a flare-up from what has happened with some of the ICE activity?
No, I mean, there's nothing organic about any of this at all. I mean, even last night, you see, some people, it'll start off with people in the area, and they have like a rapid response group. It's always the same people that are on scene at these protests before anybody else. And they come with gear and like big bulk uh, snacks and hand warmers and gas masks and all of this stuff ready to hand out to people that deploy. There's nothing organic about any of that. I was able to talk to some people that were on the streets the other day, and I was going incognito and acting like I was one of them. And I was able to ask some of them where they're from. And I asked about 10 people where they were from. Not a single person said they were from Minnesota. They're from Washington State. There was one from Texas, Oklahoma, even. Places that aren't close by. And so you want to try to figure out how they got here, who's paying for them to get here. A lot of these people don't have any money. And I think that's the next step. It's like, how are they affording to do all of this?
Yeah, that's very keen of an observation. You know, like, it's got to be something done here. I mean, these people are attacking the federal government. You know, they cried themselves to sleep at night on October the 6th, or not October the 6th, but January 6th, when they claimed that there was an insurrection. And nobody cared that Ashley Babbitt was killed. They act like she deserved it. And she was completely unarmed, climbing through a window. He could have, the guy could have slapped her and pushed her out of the window. Instead, he shot her in the neck, which is a lethal shot, killing her. And nobody's doing anything. Here's the thing. Like, I want you to just paint the picture for us, because if it wasn't for you and maybe a few other journalists, because the mainstream media isn't doing anything. Like, now that I know, they're not doing anything, and they're not talking like you're talking, telling the real, raw, and uncut truth. Like, what is it like for you being a journalist? Do you feel like your life is in danger, or when you blend in, does it feel easier to kind of conduct this type of stuff? You know, give us some feedback on what it's like being you out there reporting the truth.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, man. Last night, especially when I was filming them, literally at one point taking a tow strap out of the back of a pickup truck, tying it to the back of the pickup truck. They had enough time to go into the FBI vehicle and then tie that tow strap around the weapons safe in there and pull it out. right, with no police response at all. It's not that the police didn't know about it. It's just that they weren't going to do anything about it. And then there's just me with my camera, and they don't particularly like being filmed when they're committing felonies, right? So, I mean, I have to be as discreet as possible when I'm filming that stuff. And I'm sitting there knowing that if they discover me, if they realize I am who I am, because I'm typically, I change my disguise up every single day. But if they were to discover me, man, they're going to beat me to a pulp in the middle of the street. And nobody is going to come to my rescue. It's pretty terrifying, man.
I know and this is why, we were talking about this before, and I was telling you before we went live, I'm like, dude, we got to beef up some security for you and others who are out there doing a thing, because, and my plan is that, you dress in disguise and the other person dress in disguise. You only need somebody to get you out of a tough spot, armed. And so you don't have to worry about it. And it doesn't have to be some overt thing where it's like, look, this is me. Here's all these people. It's like, no, you incognito and the other person's incognito, or 2 or 3 people incognito. And if it hit the fan, you can get out of there. And you know that you can defend yourself if deadly force is necessary. And the reason that I'm bringing this up, man, because I was telling people on my audience, and I think people should understand it at this point. You, Cam, Nick Shirley, and others. There's another young lady that I saw out there. Like, I don't understand at this point why people are not coming out in full force to support security for you guys. I just don't understand. And we have the nonprofit side. For those who are watching this, we have the Blackline Guardian Fund, and we are trying to raise money to support you, as well as Cam and Nick Shirley. So if people want to donate, they can go there. But the bigger overarching topic here is not just the fact that we have a nonprofit and we have the thing. It's like, where is the support from the audience, right? I mean, we've raised some decent money for Nick Shirley, but the nut job that goes out and kills an ICE agent gets $1.2 million in a GoFundMe. Yeah. It's not even a 501c3. It's literally a GoFundMe account or something of that nature. People out here committing crimes, and people are more enthusiastic. I mean, do you see the enthusiasm, and outside of just the funding and support, but do you see the enthusiasm and the vigor and zeal on our side matching that of them who are out protesting?
Well, I mean, the problem is that I see on the conservative side is that, our people typically work for a living. And so they're not able to just, come out here every single day and be with me on the street to, support our side of this and show support for ICE and such. And, we don't have paid protesters. We don't really have the apparatus to do that anyway. That's not what we focus on. The left does their astroturfing very, very well. You see, when they show this, what looks like grassroots support out here, and they send like food trucks out to the autonomous zone that they created, let's say, and it'll be like a local food truck. But the way that works, and they say that the local food truck is handing out free food, well, that's because somebody cut them a big check for them to come out there and hand out that free food. But they don't say that part. They want to act like it's the will of the people. They're all coming together and helping each other out. Mutual aid, that's what they call it. But it's nothing like that. But to get back to the point of your question, I've seen a ton of support, and it helps me tremendously. It helps with morale, I'll say. When you're out there and you feel like you're alone, that a lot of people, they have your back. They're pushing you forward. They just may not be physically there to have your back. That would be a big help. And that's why, I love your idea. I've been wanting to do something like that for a long time, because a lot of us, we get attacked very regularly, to be honest with you. I mean, I was getting attacked in Portland pretty regularly. The first night that I was here, I was followed. They were throwing things at me. And then you saw the vehicle attack the other day. I mean, it happens all the time. And security is very, very expensive. As you know, to have a good security guard, a good security team, it's very pricey. We're just independent journalists, man. Like, I don't have a team. Any tweet that you see, it's always from me. Nobody else does it. Any video you see with my name on it out in the field out here, it's always from me. I don't have a team. It's so yeah, I mean, it would definitely help.
It's time, Nick. It's time for all of these people on our side to put our resources together to have almost like a mob of our people being able to speak the truth with security and funding. I mean, it's not just security. Like, why can't we fund our journalists? Why can't we make sure our journalists are good? They have hotels, they have air travel, they have all the camera equipment that they need, they have support systems, because these nut jobs have all the support they need. They got hand warmers, they got signs created, they got, like you said, food trucks. Like, why can't we have an apparatus where we have our people be able to go out and they have full support to tell the truth and keep our constitutional republic alive? Like, we got the money. Like, we have the people who have the money. Like, we're capitalists. We're the ones that got jobs. We're the ones that are creating and building. I mean, even on our side, we have the richest man in the world on our side. And I'm sure Jeff Bezos and others want to continue to have a free country. And I just wish that some people would step up and say, no, it's time to fight back, man. They spend millions of dollars on tearing down. How about we spend millions on building up? You know, you shouldn't be having to do that by yourself. Like, you should have a whole apparatus where you go out and you film and somebody edits for you. Or you go out and film and you have security people that can get you in and out of spots. And you have food, you have hotel when you're out there, you have air travel when you need to go from here to here to here to here. It should be completely funded. Like, their stuff is completely funded. But to do activism and harass cops, it's weird to me.
Yeah, and it would help a lot. Honestly, it would help with the quality of content too, because I mean, like the editing and everything I do myself as well, and so it takes me a little bit to be able to turn around videos a lot of times, and it'd be easier to do stories. You know, even Nick Shirley, for example, it'd be easier for him to go out and do stories as well if he was able to have, you know, all of the other things covered by somebody else, not even just monetarily, but just assistance wise. Like, again, the editing process, the booking process, the finding locations as to where to go, and you know what's planned for the day out here, which protests, which riots, and then if you had a support structure like that, that even if you had one person helping several different journalists that are on the ground in the same spot, honestly, yesterday, because the police line was so, or the perimeter was so wide, we didn't know what was going on at each side. So if we had multiple, like 3 different journalists here taking video from different sides, we probably would have seen a lot more that happened last night. But we don't have that. We're sort of like on our own, totally.
I know. I wish I was a billionaire, dude. I wish I was a billionaire or more. Dude, I would love to like fund it. I wish I could get the money to fund it, because what you're saying is an interesting concept. It's like, why can't we have our own militia where we protect our journalists and we go out in the public and all our guys are geared up and we're going to protect them to be able to, you guys to be able to have free speech. We're going to protect you guys to be able to do what you got to do. And anybody else try to assault you guys, they're going to be met with deadly force. It shouldn't be a game out here. And we should have 5 or 6 journalists that we could put up in hotels and we could make sure everything. We have editors that edit all the content. I just don't understand, man. Like, I wish I was rich so I could do it. But
You
like,
would be both, man.
how do we do it, man? I don't know. Maybe somebody watch this video will be inspired to help, because we just really need it, man. You guys are the most important people in America right now. The honest to God truth. Like, I'm sitting in the studio right now. It's I don't know, 74 degrees in here. I'm comfortable on the couch. I mean, you're out there in the freaking, it's cold out there, and I want to say another word, but you know what
it sucks.
It's cold out there. I'm getting ready to wrap the interview because I don't want you to be standing out there, but it's cold out there. It's dangerous, you know, and you guys are risking everything. Your freedoms, you're risking your free time. You could be hanging out with family, girlfriends, wives, you know. Instead, you guys are out there doing what the America needs, and the American people need to get off their ashy elbows and really, really dive into support. And I you know, I don't know. Only nonprofit that I have right now that I know of is the Guardian Fund for Security. But like, where do you have where people can go and donate and support you?
Yeah, so I don't typically ask for donations for anything, essentially, because I don't like to take away from the message, right? It makes it too easy for right now. It's very difficult to label me as a grifter because I don't ask for any money. I'm like spending basically what comes in goes back out into this, and I'm proud of that fact. But I mean I do. There's a tip function in my bio on X if anybody is so inclined to help out. But I want to go back to that point that you were making, about the security again. I'll hit on that one more time. What they're trying to do to us out here, to people like me and to people like Cam and Shirley and everybody, they're trying to literally terrorize us. These are terrorists. They are trying to terrorize us into going away and not covering what they're doing out here. Last night, that video that I got of them stealing the rifle out of the back of the FBI vehicle and then stealing the weapons locker out of the back of another FBI vehicle. Nobody else got those videos. No major news outlet was there to film any of that. If it wasn't for independent journalists, it's not just me. Nobody would have seen that. We would have never known about it. I'll say this as well. I got a call this morning from Attorney General Pam Bondi after she saw that video. And let's just say, the FBI is, they're very mad. They're very mad. I won't say too much. I don't want to divulge too much from that phone call.
We can imagine.
But that's how they saw it. That's how they saw it, was from that video.
Yeah, we're going to make it happen. I see, in my mind, I see a vision of this happening and working. Because right now it's crazy and nobody's covering it. And these people get to get away with it. And you know why nobody's covering it? Because of what you said. It's too dangerous. They want to kill you out there. So, and they'll beat you to a pulp, and the cops won't even respond. So the major news networks and media, they don't want the liability. They say, well, we're not going to cover anything. So these cowards get to do crime in the dark. And they get to do nefarious things. They're probably jumping out of vehicles. It's very clearly coordinated, and nobody's going to ever see it. And that's the way they want it.
Right.
But man, we gotta make a difference. And I'll make the claim right now. And when we put this out to the public, I'll make another ask. Anybody that's watching this, you need to support these people out here. Whether it's going and tipping on their tip jars, go find their social media. Quit being lazy. You share the content. You watch the content. Go in there and give a tip. People they'll go get a Starbucks today. Cost $7. But this is more important than drinking at Starbucks, in my opinion. You drink some water and be fine. And I want people to go and support the Guardian Fund, because the Guardian Fund helps protect security for all of the journalists that we work with, which is you, Cam, Nick, Shirley, and we want to get more people. But we don't have enough money. But we need all of us working together to put money in the piggy bank so we can have quality content and y'all to be safe. So if somebody's watching this, the links will be in the description. We'll link to your tip jar, and we'll link to the Guardian Fund. And people we need to find creative ways, man. Maybe we can find other ways to help you raise money, because it's not. I want you to know this, and I know we're kind of interviewing, but it's like brother to brother. Like, we shouldn't be worried about being labeled or worried about raising money, because the devil don't care. They're raising millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they're doing fraudulent stuff with it. But like somebody like you is out here doing God's work, in my opinion, exposing the truth or exposing the lies that they're doing, and it shouldn't be a problem with somebody helping you do that. That's what we're all together for. We're a community. I mean, we got it, so we give it to our brothers. And I had resources to create a nonprofit, so that's what I did for our brothers. So, but I'm gonna get you out of the cold, Nick. I don't want you there. It's cold. It look cold as heck out there. Like, I'm getting cold looking at you.
It's gonna get colder, man. But I really appreciate this. This is it's gonna help out a lot. The quality of content just by having security is gonna go through the roof. It'll be noticeable. Trust me, man. I really appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you, man. I'm gonna do my best, man. I'm gonna put some money in your jar. I'm gonna try to help you, man, because I believe in this stuff. It's not just talking. I believe in it. So I appreciate you, man. God bless you, Nick. You keep fighting a good fight. We're gonna try to, if people will help us raise the money, I'll put some money in. We're gonna try to get you some security so you can at least be safer. I know you have people protecting you. You have people out there. We're gonna get you more people. So you have a base. I don't want you to kind of be out there by yourself, man. We need at least a couple people with you. So if they hit the fan, they can do some shenanigans to get you out of there to safety, and then, you know, off to the next city. So I appreciate you, man. God bless you, and thank you so much. And your handles, give us your handles where people can follow you on all your platforms.
Yeah, the main platform is on X at Nick Sortor, NickSortor, but also on Instagram and TikTok sometimes. But yeah, mainly X and mainly X. But Officer Tatum, again, thank you so much, man.
Man, it's my pleasure. We'll put the links in the description section, everybody. Thank you for coming on.